March madness or miracles or both. It's a real combination. It's a melting pot. It's a fusion. And the more we're moving forward into March at this very accelerated rate, I don't know if you've noticed it, but this year so far has been so quick, so fast, so rapid, so much happening all at once, whether that be in your personal life or on the global scale or both. That is for very, very good reason. And I want to make a quick video just to talk about all the different cogs or workings of what's taking place in March right now. It is setting up and preparing us for a deeper level of migration into the new harmonic reality. This has been accessible and more palpable, perhaps you could say, for the last 6 months. And we're coming up to another really pivotal marker on the timeline of having or stepping more into the embodiment and the integration. So the body is the barometer of the timeline. So what does that look like? That looks like health scares or health crisis, or having really intensive upgrades to the physical body. That can be one thing. It can be different parts of your life unraveling, heavy emotions coming up, things that you may have thought you've dealt with previously, and it's like resurfacing. Why is all that happening? If you think about building a solid foundation of a new beginning, a version of reality that is calling you because you already exist in that version of reality. So you're connecting with what you would consider your future self, which is calling you to integrate all that light and frequency encoded energy. What that does is it activates and brings online more of your own soul code and your DNA. It upgrades the physical body. So as we move through this shift, our bodies will go through profound changes that will seemingly be miraculous by modern medicine's ideologies or perception of what is possible. Subtle changes and shifts that you might go through you may already notice it. Shifts and changes in the vibrancy of your life force. And why is that happening? Because you're unplugging and disconnecting from an old operating system, an old version of reality that is crumbling before our very eyes right now. And we are moving towards our destiny, which is moving into the natural harmonic reality version that has existed, that does exist, that we are moving into in a whole new profound way. So it's a big deal and it's a big job. So go easy on yourself. We're all moving through it in the perfect phases and stages that we need to, that are right for us. So it is the madness and the miracles happening, overlaid. There's overlaid versions of reality, and you've probably witnessed this many times. It's so prominent and pronounced that we are moving through this process of migration, ebbing back and forth, trying to stabilize this timeline, not only for ourselves, but as a collective, consolidated timeline. It's an amalgamation of all the streams. As I see that, it's an amalgamation of all the streams of frequency and tapestry that are molding and morphing together and coming into that space. So why are the extremes that we go through on a personal or a collective level? We can't transition without excavating the things that aren't in harmonic resonance. So the best thing that we can do as we're moving through turbulent times for the collective is to be able to excavate what isn't in harmonious resonance within the life that we're moving into. And that shows up in the body. It shows up through memories, through emotions, through expressions, through catalytic events in our life, where we feel our life force is being drained or depleted, is a really, really good like signifier of what's not in alignment or what's not in resonance. And where we're being called to is those bold moves that our soul asks us to step into bravely and assertively, that just feel right, but they don't make any logical sense. So what I was reminded today through a conversation with a dear soul brother is the intuitive hits that we get along the way that just feel right and lights us up. It lights our bodies up as, I know that is truth. So it might be you're in the shower or you're washing the dishes and you get this download of a vision or information and you're like, yeah, that's it. And then what happens is your brain tries to come in and make sense of something that's coming in at a higher consciousness level. And then it starts to like try to place it or put labels around it or storylines around it or time frames around it. And then you've just lost it. Because what is happening is, in this jump or migration that is happening, is we're getting hits of our future version, like memories from the past that haven't happened yet, essentially, is what is happening. That we're being caught, and they're threads of frequency that are calling and pulling us through into that experience. But the level of consciousness that our mind is operating right now is different to where we will be as we make those, quantum jumps and leaps. So doing the cleanup job is so important. It helps us assimilate the frequencies. It helps and allows our body, our physical body, to adjust and move through the stages that we need to in accordance with how we're navigating through the pace that is set by us, for us, by us. Parky's with us too. So remember this. The other thing that's been coming through very, very strongly that feels really important for March, obviously we've got the eclipse, and then post the eclipse we're moving into Easter, and there's been a lot of talk about this particular time frame. The last week of March moving into April feels really, really pivotal in what I said, in a frequency marker point of this process. A lot of it is very multi-dimensional cleanup. But what is the most important thing while the older reality is going through this disintegration process? How can we stay steady? Well, we can remember who we are. We can remember why we came, and we can start putting that into action. As we do the work on ourselves and take guided action, that is actually creating the greatest change that we can make for the collective to move through this shift, honoring ourselves and our own process. So this whole process of soul remembrance is coming in very loud. It's been coming through my dreams several times. So what I've been guided to do is offer a soul immersion event on Equinox, so Saturday the 21st of March at 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Now this is going to be held live in Brisbane. If you live in Queensland, in the Brisbane vicinity, if you're on the Gold Coast or the Sunshine Coast and you want to come and join, I will be hosting this in person, and there are a limited number of spaces available. But if you don't live there, it's okay. You're not going to miss out. This will also be live streamed, and you will get access to the live stream and also the replay available afterwards as well. This is going to be facilitated slightly different just because of this very specific and special event. This is about the soul remembrance, the remembrance and the mission. This is facilitating. Now, what I was told edging into March is I used to do soul readings, very specific session that I used to offer soul readings and soul integration or soul braiding, weaving. So what does that entail? It entails reading the soul lineage of where you've come from, which ranges in your different skill sets, and a better understanding of yourself and why you are the way you are based on the cosmic level of your lineage, or earth level, or a combination of both. But it's when you can understand yourself from that bigger, larger soul perspective, it puts your mission into a hyper focus of a deeper level of understanding of what's important for you specifically, and how you just know the things you know, how you just create whatever it is naturally and organically. But the difference is, it's not just a reading, it's connecting with the facets and threads of those aspects of you multidimensionally. So some may call it past life, but they're operating throughout the spectrum of time simultaneously. So we're actually just weaving in more and more of your own soul consciousness that accesses skills and abilities. I have been guided to put that back on the table, which I haven't quite done yet. But this soul immersion is facilitating that process. It'll be a 3-part process that I am facilitating, which is looking at what we're getting rid of, the accumulation of the density that we've held up until this point, so that we can be a clear vessel. Then connecting with the relative aspects of us that are pertaining to now. So connecting with soul aspects that are important for us now, for our mission, and for us to step forward into that new harmonic reality with clarity, with confidence, and feeling in alignment through our body, and allowing the body to shift and morph through that frequency. So if you would like to join, the details will be in the description box below. If you would like a deeper dive into one of these sessions, they will become available later in March, after I've hosted the Brisbane event. So you can go on a waiting list. So when I release them, I can let you know. So if you're interested in that, I'll put my email, and you can just email me to go on the waiting list for that. But I feel so passionate about this work at this time because of where we're at. The week of Equinox, so Equinox kicks it off, and that entire week is going to be a huge explosion of light and a real game changer, and it's allowing more access to light energy and consciousness. But of course, that can be facilitated different ways in people's experience and bodies, depending on where they're at. Some people need a little bit of support. Some people will move through it in like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. You know, it can come in so many different ways. But I feel super excited about where we're at and where we're heading. And I know that the more people that are hearing the call to take that next level of their soul path, in whatever that looks like, whether it's like stepping out and being bold for the first time in what you've been called to do, or if you're in that next leg up, you've been doing it for a while, it really encompasses everyone. It's like that, you know, everyone takes their next step up, and everyone kind of leapfrogs in that capacity. So I feel like we're going to really see more tangible evidence of this new reality opening up and unfolding as we segue through this month into April. And as we know, if we look based just on astrology, this year doesn't really kick off astrologically, you know, until I'm sorry, boy, you want to go? Oh, we're about to go for a beach walk now. So thank you for your patience. I just wanted to get this in before we lose full light. So I feel like there's a lot of changes afoot, but of course, be gentle with yourself. This is a huge process that we're moving through. So You may have that two-toned experience as we move through March, and you may start to have more tangible, accessible memories coming online. So more of the soul memory that comes online, that is available for you to remember who you are, is what activates your DNA. So don't forget that. It activates your DNA, your dormant DNA, which allows the body to shift and change, coming back to its original harmonic state of vitality, of clarity. We're embodying our full consciousness. So remember that. The body is the barometer of the timeline. Support the body in the ways you feel intuitively guided, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally. That is going to help facilitate this jump. And if you want to come and join this equinox, I would be so excited and so delighted to share the space with you, whether it be in person or online. So sending you much love. This is my birthday month, so I'm always excited for March. But I feel quite very optimistic. Even though things feel so crazy and chaotic, we are moving into historical times. So much love. I'll connect with you soon.